Well, thanks for coming along on what we call Jay's virtual ride. We call it that because you're actually in the passenger seat of my 1954 Jaguar XK120. This is a seminal car for me because it was the first sports car I ever really sat in. When I was a kid, I was 9 years old, I was riding my bike up a hill. When I got to the top of the hill, I saw one of these parked in a guy's driveway. And when you live in a little town in Massachusetts, you didn't see these kind of cars. And I stared at it for like 20 minutes. And finally the guy said, "Hey, come on over, you want to sit in it?" And he let me sit in it. Well, it was like imprinting on a goose. Oh, I had to have one. It took me 25 years, and when I was 34 years old, I finally got one. And I've had it now since 1984. It's really a terrific car. It's all stock. I've modified a little bit. Instead of a 3.4 liter motor, has a 4.2. Makes about 250 horsepower, and it's got a 5-speed transmission. But other than that, she's all 1954 Jaguar. You know, these cars are great fun because they're very visceral. There's no traction control, there's no ABS, there's none of the things that take away from the pure driving sensation like a lot of modern cars do. And the road I'm driving on, oh, this is fantastic. I know it looks like the hills of Sicily, but we're actually just about 12 miles from downtown Los Angeles. This is a great myth about California, that traffic is just awful. And it is, if you're on the 405 or the 101 or the 5 or the 14 or any of those freeways. But all you have to do is get off the freeway, go 10 miles into the hills, and you see roads like this where there isn't another car anywhere around. We haven't blocked the road off. We don't have police at East End closing it down. These are just lonely, deserted roads that nobody knows about. And I'm not even going to tell you where it is. I'll tell you it's within 10 miles of Burbank Airport. So that should give you some idea. Okay, there's one car there, but that's the first one I've seen on the drive so far. Well, you get the idea. It's a lot of fun driving up here. You know, this car comes from what I call the golden age of motoring. You know, 1950 to 1960, that's when sports cars, especially British sports cars, really shine. You know, Britain had this export or die thing going where they had to produce and export to get money to live and to eat. So they built so many great sports cars. Most of them went to California because of our weather and our roads. Cars like the MG, the Triumph, the Austin Healey, and of course this one here, the famous Jaguar XK120. Clark Gable had one of these. All kinds of movie stars had one of these because these were the fastest cars of the day. They were called the 120 because they're guaranteed to do 120 miles an hour, which you can do in a Toyota Corolla now. But back then, the average car kind of struggled to reach even 80 or 90 miles an hour. Plus, they're great looking cars. Well, thanks for coming on this virtual ride along. I hope it's as much fun for you to view as it was for us to make it. What a great job I had. Jay, we want you to drive your car up and down the hills of California. Whew, okay, it's exhausting, but somebody's got to do it. Thanks for coming.